Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the biggest happy hour in half an hour. I am back, and we're going to see how we do tonight. So, thank you for joining. I know I've been away for a while, so it's geez, I think it's almost been 3 weeks. 3 weeks was the last one I think we actually had. So, yes, I'm a little tired. If you followed some of the social media stuff that I've been able to put out there, that I am back. Was a little busy. I'm sure if you've been watching the news over the last couple weeks, you've seen it's been pretty crazy here in Florida. A lot of unfortunate things have taken place, but nonetheless, we're back on track. But we'll talk a little bit about some of those things here, catching up what I've been up to, some of the things that we've been doing, some of the things I've been just recently doing this week. Podcast has been a little bit on a hiatus, and shoot, I don't know. Maybe I got to put out some other little post or little nugget of a shout out there to the podcast listeners that yes, I've been a little MIA, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to put something out there for this Tuesday. That might be another week that I'm going to have to. It's just been crazy. It's just been crazy week for me. Like I said, I've just been the day gig is obviously the primary thing until somebody comes along and wants me to be a global rum ambassador for a company. Then and I can still maintain what I currently make. Then I'll be glad to be somebody's rum pitchman or something to that effect. But until then, I still have to keep my day job. So anyway, let's start it off here. We're gonna play our little game of What the Florida. All right. So I know it's a little bit after 8 o'clock here in the East Coast of the U.S. and it's no, it's a little bit slow going there. Again, it's almost like I forgot how to do all this and set things up, and it's almost like nothing should have been touched in the room here since since I left last. Since we last, how does that show? How does it go when the shows when they bring in from the last week's episode where we left off in last week's episode in Joni Loves Chachi. All right, here we go. So, as you know, here is our What the Florida. Oh, look, it is. It is Brad, Siri. All right, thanks. Good timing. Hey, guys, welcome there. Some big applauses there. I forgot to give applause for Philip. Applause for Charlene. And Brad. And Siri. Hey, all right. All right, there we go. There's the crew all piling in there. And lastly, there, just joining us there is Nia from My Rum Diaries. All right, so we got our normal crew here. Thank you for hanging with me again. As some of you may know, on the outside of all this, who have kept in contact with me over the last few weeks, we've been fortunate on the east coast of Florida during Hurricane Ian. We'll talk a little bit about that, and there's also a Florida man story that is tied to the hurricane. But we were okay. Like I said, if you caught what I just said there a couple minutes ago, just been very busy with the my day gig, my day job stuff that I do that is tied to some of the hurricane stuff. But I don't want to get too much into it and reveal my identity as Superman. But here we go. So we're gonna go and kick this off right here. So we're gonna do our splash screen again here for our What the Florida. All right, so there we go. So let's see. Here is our this week's question on What the Florida. Have you ever done something unbelievable only to have no one around see it? Have you ever done something unbelievable only to have no one around to see it? There is the question right there. So, all right, we'll start it off there. We'll put their question up there for the first shot there, and we'll come back to it for those that are starting to come in there. So, yeah, no worries, Nia. Yep, the work function stuff. Yeah, like I said, it's what I signed up for. I know what I got myself into, and I can't complain. It's definitely a good job. So, but sometimes it does take me away some long hours. But anyway, so here we're back there. So again, thanks for all tuning in. If you've been listening to the podcast, I know it's been a little bit. That's I told somebody this the other day was um, I think it was episode. I see. I'm not even sure now. It's been so long, but there was in a recent episode that I did post. It was a quick little update to let folks know, yes, I'm still alive. I'm still, here. Just bear with me, going through some stuff. And but prior to that, the week prior was a rebroadcast of the Beards, Brews, and Shipwrecks podcast with Jamie Bennett, aka Chun Jay of Royal Ruckus, and Nomadic Vagabond. They are the hosts and co-hosts, or I don't know, however you figure that. See, I don't know how that is because I don't have a host or a co-host or another person normally. So I don't know what is. It's like Mister and Mrs. Or is it when you're getting married or fiance or I don't know how that all works. I'm not saying that they're married, but I'm just saying anyway. So yeah, so check out Beards, Brews. I always get it screwed up which one it is comes first. I think it's Beards, Brews, and Shipwrecks. Yeah. So check out their podcast. But they had on a drummer on their broad podcast, and they were gracious to let us go ahead and rebroadcast their episode, and it had really good listens on it. So definitely check it out if you haven't. It's with a drummer goes by the name of Sojourn. So really cool episode. Again, I love to have the drummers episodes. But anyway, so we are not forgetting about our rummers as well too. So there's Phillips. All right. So guess my invite got lost for No, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. Actually, yeah, we were I think where we last left off before the storm, before the world. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say the world, and that's kind of a little harsh for some people, right? Yeah, when my world got crazy, right? Um, it was the weekend prior to the storm hit was, as you followed, was our Ringo Starr show that we went to down at the Hard Rock Live in Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood, whatever you call it, and that was already a makeup show for the makeup show for the makeup show because COVID, and when they rescheduled it for September, I said, "There's no way this is happening. The chances of it now getting rescheduled from June to September, all likelihood, we will have a hurricane because it's just that's when it normally happens here in Florida. The peak of hurricane season is September, but the peak for Florida is October. So anyway, unbelievably, we didn't have a storm. We didn't have anything going on. I didn't have a work thing going on, and we made it to the show. But then fast forward the next weekend, that's when some things started, kind of brewing and prepping and so forth for her. Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to be doing some family stuff and so forth, but yeah, so that was when things started brewing, Hurricane Ian and so forth. So that's where we left. Like I said, I'm not even sure. It's been a long few weeks here working, so I'm not even sure what date is. I was even surprised and got a little depressed that I actually saw on our ticker that scrolls at work. It said October 1st, and I said, "Wait a minute, what happened to September? What the last little bit of what was September?" So anyway, where the hell is? Oh yes, so yes, co-host. Yeah, geez, that was a hell of a tangent. Yeah. So yeah. So Nia, yes. No, I didn't forget about the co-host thing there. Actually, like I said, I definitely do. We do need to put something down to paper about maybe the idea about hosting for March for Women's Month. But so all right, we said too much. We already gave a little bit of a sneak peek, got out of the bag there. But yep. So hey, any of y'all are more than welcome to come over and hang out here at the house Thursday night, if you're living in the area. I'm just waiting for I wanna that'd be awesome if I actually had, like, knocking on the door like Mister Rogers' Neighborhood, The Mystery Guest, or whatever show they used to have that. I think we're all old enough to remember there was some show that used to have the knocking on the door and whoever the mystery guest was. So, I don't know, anyway, do I let some of these unknowns like I said, I'm still really wanting to get the Florida man people that I talk about in the shows, I'd love to still get them on. So this week's Florida man story was a little bit well, yeah, the skeleton guy, the guy yeah, you want that guy coming over to the house? So, no, this week's story, maybe we'll just jump right into our Florida man story here anyway, so 'cause I haven't had really anything. I've been really over the last 3 weeks, probably pretty dry. So, 'cause it's been so working tired. So, well, if you're sitting in a house full of alcohol, so, I mean, you know how to Google, YouTube. Well, you're gonna probably what happens when I die first, okay? You can Oh, did you guys heard that? That's a bunch of bullshit right there. Alright, anyway, so, yeah, so she's telling me don't die first. Oh, so it's okay that you die first, then I can marry a bartender. Okay, there you go. Next on the Drums and Rums podcast, the dating episode. Alright, I don't know if you guys can hear all this, stuff, this bullshit she's talking about. All right, here we go. We're gonna go right into our Florida man story, but first, I'm gonna go ahead and get our, you know what, our good old fashioned Florida man beer here, right? So yeah, so it is Florida. We've had a lot of shit going on here in Florida over the last couple weeks, and we'll go from there. So here we go. I'm gonna go and play this video. So hopefully, you let me know if
So I open it up and I jump in, and the water just
now this is an amazing story that he's
to
described.
my chest.
A Fort Myers beach man is alive after nearly drowning inside his home on Estero Boulevard.
As the storm surge rose into the second story of his building, George Andred used an unordinary item to keep himself safe.
Tonight, he's alive, and he's telling his survival story only to NBC2's Gage Golding.
My living room, my couch, my TVs, tables, and
It's all gone.
that's all gone. Ceilings are gone, everything is gone.
For the last 20-plus years, Georgia Andred called what used to be the bottom floor of this house his home.
So it looks a little bit different than it used to, huh?
Oh, yeah, totally. Used to be nice here.
Yeah.
The sous chef rode out the storm here on the island, but as the water came up, he went up to his neighbor's apartment on the second floor.
That's inside, upstairs.
There, too, the storm surge crept in, so much that he needed to make a move, or else.
I'd be dead. I'd be gone so.
That's when he turned to this fridge and turned it into his life raft.
So I open it up and I jump in, and the water just race to my chest.
You were in the fridge, water up to your neck on the second floor.
Oh, yeah. And that thing just went like this. Everything hit the floor and like, boom. Hit the ceiling, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm done.
He spent about 5 excruciatingly long minutes bobbing in the water like a buoy out at sea.
Water hit the roof and bounced back, and in my water, I'm like, oh. So I'm like, take a big breath, go back.
Feel like a little air pocket.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah.
Did you close the fridge?
No, I did one couple times,
Just to keep the water
just to
out?
keep the water out.
Just as the surge neared the ceiling, it stopped.
And the water went slowly come down.
He was alive, trapped up here, but alive. The next morning, someone brought this ladder for George to get down.
It's lucky, man. It's God.
Do you feel like it's kind of ironic being a chef that a fridge saved your life?
Yeah, I think so. No kidding, yeah, right? Inside the fridge. If that fridge wasn't there, I'd be dead. That's for sure.
Was it a fluke or was it fate? Who knows? But George knows one thing for sure. The next time a storm's brewing.
I ain't staying here.
No way.
No.
Reporting on Fort Myers Beach, Gage Golding, NBC2.
We are glad.
So I open it up and I jump in. And the
All right,
water
so
just race.
that's a really crazy story.
To my chest.
But before we get
A
into it, I
Fort
just want to go
Myers
ahead and show
beach
you
man
this.
is alive
So,
after
again, for
nearly
those of you who live
drowning
down here in
inside
South
his
Florida, you've probably
home
already seen
on
this
Estero
story.
Boulevard.
As the storm
But
surge
this is
rose into the
this is another
second
crazy
story
one
of his
here
building, George
where-
Andred used an unordinary item to keep himself safe.
Tonight,
where-
he's alive, and he's telling his
You know,
survival story
you would
only
think
to
that people are
NBC2's Gage Golding.
afraid of sharks on the beach, but
My
yet
living room,
we
my
have
couch,
alligators,
my
and
TVs,
occasionally this does happen. Somehow,
tables,
an
and
alligator will get
all gone.
into
That's
the
all
ocean
gone.
if it's close enough to the
Ceilings are
brackish
gone,
water.
everything is gone.
For the last
So-
20-plus years, Georgia Andred called what used to be the bottom floor of this house his home.
So it looks a little bit different than it used to, huh?
Oh, yeah, totally. Used to be nice.
Anyway, so hopefully that's better. I know it takes you guys a couple minutes here just to catch up here, but I know this one was a little last minute here. So like I said, this was an alligator that washed up here. As you can see, he's alive, washed up in here in the beach. So let alone you don't have worrying about shark attacks, but now you got to worry about alligators. See, this is why Florida's great, right? So where's the Florida man? The Florida man credo. We should get this printed out on a. We should get this printed out. I don't know, where is it. Oh, anyway. So yeah, it's not on there. Anyway, so yeah, so there's our Florida man story of the week. I'll go back to our page there. So yes, so thank you, or way to go at George Andred there for being survival, right? So there you go, product placement there. So way to go, George. I thought, again, this is another one of those I thought to have these guys on, but it's a little, So I guess we'll talk segue into there. I mean, that's an amazing story. Hearing it kind of gave me goosebumps listening to this guy talk about, uh, nearly dying. That storm surge that hit here was just incredible. There was so much water everywhere. This is something that everyone's talks about. They've never have seen a storm like that. They always talk about this storm surge that can get produced in the Gulf of Mexico storms. Hurricane Michael that hit the panhandle of Florida 3, 4 years ago didn't have that storm surge. Hurricane Charlie that hit in 2004 didn't have that kind of storm surge. This just was, just crazy. And yeah, I mean, like I said, being at work and seeing a lot of the stuff, and again, um, some of the things that just very, very heartbreaking to see, the loss of lives, um, a lot of loss of property, loss of people's, it's unfortunately, yeah, Fort Myers Beach took the brunt of it, as you saw in that video there. So again, if you don't live here in Florida, but you do love to come and visit Florida, I think that's the biggest thing is give Southwest Florida a little bit of time to heal. Make sure you come back because a lot of these little mom and pops that are right there on the beach side, they make their livelihood, and the tourism is the number one industry in Florida, and this is what they survive on, right? You come to visit, you come to the beaches and all these things. So give it a little bit of time, come back and help that community out. The Gulf of Mexico beaches are amazing, so very different than the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, really crazy here last couple weeks, like we said here in Florida. Just an incredible storm, nearly Cat 5 hurricane that hit the Fort Myers Beach area and surrounding areas as well too. And then, like I said, the water, the storm surge. I mean, there was inland flooding. There was flooding in Orlando, in Daytona Beach, all up the East Coast, everywhere. It was just incredible. But so yeah, so not to scare you off if you ever thought about moving to Florida, but yep, yeah, but okay, yeah, okay. So Nia gave us an update here about the alligator. Yes, but they had to put him down. He was floating and ingesting too much. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And that was a big guy too. It wasn't like a little guy there too. I'm amazed that he washed alive. Yeah, so that gator, that is a giant, definitely huge gator. So all right, so let me go ahead and let's get back. If you just joined us and you didn't just joining us now in our What the Florida segment there, here we go. Have you ever done something unbelievable only to have no one around to see it? So there's our question. And go ahead and post that over in the group there, the Facebook group. If you notice that this is where we put the event, as opposed to on the Facebook Drums and Rums page, we just went ahead and put it in the Facebook group instead. Maybe we'll start doing that instead. So anyway, so all right. So what have I been doing up to besides working a lot of hours and not drinking enough rum? Since there's a lot of rum that hasn't been drinking over a few weeks, but I was able to make it back. Have a little bit of time here this week. Tuesday night, the Florida Rum Society hosted a virtual sampling. A couple of you that are listening, watching, were also in attendance there too. So this was the company Black Tot Rum, and so we got a pretty cool sampling here. So that we got a nice little setup here sent to us, and these are each samples that they have. That is a blend of this one here is Guyana and Trinidad. I know you probably can't see it, and they had a Jamaica and Barbados, Australia. They had a 50th anniversary and last consignment, and the final blend. So it's kind of interesting. I said learn about this company, Black Tot, sampling some of their stuff here. So I didn't drink it all because I saved a little bit of it, but it was a really nice presentation here they put together. I thought these guys were around a lot longer. They've actually only they're fairly relatively new, um, but it was really cool, interesting story. Listening to them, so maybe we may have them on the podcast here soon. Get a little bit more details on their story, their background, and so forth. So I know Nia, not to kind of out her, but she was. So Nia, what'd you think about the did what'd you think about the samples here that they from Black Tot? That's yes, it is. Yeah, Brad, we need to get back to some other fancy stuff here too. So So I'll have to hit you up there. I know we got a lot of catching up to do, Brad. All right, let's see. Yes. But yeah, so they had so Black Tot there. Check them out. I think I've seen them in the stores here as well too. Again, there's so much rum, so little time, and so little money too. I'm not that rich to be buying all sorts of stuff there. So, um, but yeah, that was like I said, that was not a whole lot going on for me over this past week. Um, going on, and the only other thing, like I said, we're just trying to get back on track here. Podcast, maybe take a little break for October. Just like I said, there's just a lot going on, lot to catch up on, yard work stuff, all the normal things that I've been not able to do. Birthdays have also happened. The young guy was turning 16, so we got a new driver in the house, or a new designated driver. I guess it should be a better way to look at it, right? A new chauffeur, and yeah, so we got a little bit catching up to do with some of the family stuff and so forth, and the podcast. So like I said, I'm not gone, just taking a little break, and I think it was actually a really good time for me anyway, because I think I was getting to that point where I just needed a little bit of a letting up here, because I think there's just a lot catching up on, especially with the podcast. But sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I'll be back. So, and lastly though, you probably heard me talk about it before, was we're gonna be doing our some vanilla again this year here for Christmas. So maybe New Year's. Oh, because now we're behind. All right, so hey, we're just gonna blame it on the supply chain issues here, because of shit's getting delayed in arrival. But anyway, so if you go check out over there, I'll be posting after the show here over on Instagram. Maybe I'll post it here on Facebook too. It just get your feedback on which rum do you think would make an interesting or best vanilla. So we will do that. We'll get anyone who answers and or provides at least once one, I guess, entry, or just what you think, and then we'll just kind of go with whoever the highest votes are, and you get thrown in there for a drawing for some free vanilla. So I think that's fair. That's something that's pretty cool to do. Um, oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. So for sure, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really interesting stuff. I mean, like I said, we're back. I'm just talking back, just catching up in the chat there. But the black top, it's definitely. I'm telling you, it doesn't. This is the big. I'm talking to a lot of you all who already know this, but man, some of the stuff just is not what people think is rum. It's just not what everyone's been kind of mostly conditioned for. So, yeah, some really interesting flavoring. The one thing, Nia, that I didn't get, because I left my glasses out overnight. I didn't get the strong. I didn't get a strong, you know, wood that stayed on inside the glass and dried in overnight. But again, that was a couple days ago. But even the next morning, I didn't actually get a whole lot of residual residual stuff there. But yeah, I think you're not gonna probably. You might pick. Charlene might actually be able to pick it up, because yeah, it's maybe a little hard there. So, but I think I do need some more glasses like that, because I had to resort to old fashioned when I ran out of my two glasses here. I had to resort to shot glasses. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to. You're not gonna be able to pick it up. So yeah, that's kind of oh, which was my favorite. So you can smell it. Yeah. I think I like it was. I'm trying to think now, which one was it now? Was it third? The Australian one, I didn't like the Australian one, but I think that I like that, the 50th anniversary. I know a lot of folks said the final blend, so I think somewhere between the 5th anniversary, the 4th one, and the 5th one there. So I think those are two, but all of them amazing. Just the different texture. What was the second one? Second one was Barbados. No, not Barbados. Jamaica. Now I gotta open up the box. Yeah, Jamaican Barbados. I think that seemed like that burnt a little bit more than the Guyana and the Trinidad. So, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I said, there was a lot of things I missed, actually. A lot of things going on, other podcast things. So I'll jump here. I'm gonna go ahead and just go and jump into some of our plugs here. A lot of things going on. That I said I've just been very MIA on. So definitely I know I haven't been able to catch up with Brad and Jams and Coffee, and jams and cocktails on Wednesday nights, jams and coffee. Also, as I call it, the rum posse there with Nia from My Rum Diaries, Johnny from Ready Set Rum, Roger and Cole on Just Drinking, and also Jason the River Pirate there. So definitely check out their stuff too. If you like some of the content, you like rum, you like all that stuff, learn more. Definitely follow our fellow rum posse group there who do other rum content. Again, we all do a different little take on it, right? Um, and but we all ends up that we were all rum enthusiasts, right? So definitely it's definitely interesting take and taste and reviews that they all do and so forth. So oh, she's reading the other deck of cards that I've got here. So what? Oh, one was horrifying. Oh, can I see it? Oh, she stuck it back in the deck. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what we got going on there. I think Okay, so what is this? What does this deck of cards say? How dare you? Oh, here's another deck of cards I haven't even really looked on. This is called How Pod Decks. How dare you? I need to get this guy Travis on the show because he's got a lot of creative stuff, and this is the stuff. He's like one of those I talk a lot about the crossover. I think for those who do podcasting or music or just general content and creativity, this guy Travis is just amazing. So here's the questions that Charlene pulled out of the deck here. Oh, maybe I should start doing these right. This is a whole nother segment. This is like maybe this is like the After Dark. This is the After Dark show here. If you had to pick only one person in your immediate family to survive, who would it be? Yeah, who would it be? Who would it be? Who? Oh, she picks herself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Before we end up the show here, answer this question. Oh, which way is it? Come on now. Tell me. Don't worry. You're probably none of your immediate family members are watching this anyway, so I won't tell them. Oh, Siri said that she used the last of the rum today. All right. All right. So I guess man, somebody's obviously been baking, so we got to get some more she's going to have to get some more vanilla there. So I love that hashtag rum posse for life. We getting tattoos, Nia? We'll tell Roger and Cole when they come down. That's right. Yeah, it's coming up. Jeez, that's going to be like next month, won't it? The Rum Renaissance Festival. So, yeah, they're going to be coming down here. The guys from Just Drinking. So we got to meet up and have a little powwow on what we're all going to be up to. So yeah, so we'll tell them that we're when they come down to Florida, they were getting tattoos. Hashtag Rum Posse for life. Roger and Cole, and they'll go back to I with more than just rum, but some good stories. So and also, I don't know, Brad's still on there, but I need to call the number for the Pirates and Parrot Heads cruise that's going out of West Palm Beach in January. I think it's the Martin Luther King holiday weekend there. So heading it up there is Johnny from Code Rum. They've got a whole great itinerary on the ship there. That is the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville ship. So I think we're gonna try to lock down our tickets there for that trip there here. Hopefully, I can do it tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday. See, my days are all off. I don't know what day it is. I don't know if it's Fridays, Thursdays, whatever. Weekends. I just again, when you work 22 days straight in a row, you don't even remember what day it is. It's probably like what it is, almost like in being in prison, right? You just lose track, So yeah, 16-hour days. So anyway. I think I think we've hit all the stops there. Um, Again, this is going to be a quick one. I know I've got, like I said, a lot of ideas, and I think that's maybe why I just got to take a little break from the podcast, give me a little breather to try to finish up on some of the other content stuff that we've been talking about doing. Some of the stuff with Brad, some of our reviews of spirits reviews. It's not just rum stuff, but we got some of that. Our other podcast idea that I've hinted at also. Just again, there's a lot. I've again just like rum. There's so much rum, so little time. There's so much ideas in my head, so little time to actually get it done. So, but I'll probably keep doing the happy hour because this is probably a little easier to do than kind of creating. I can bullshit my way through this there, so I got to fake it till I make it. So again, hopefully you all have a great questions. Yeah, we were talking about the cruise next Wednesday. Okay, cool. So definitely check that out. Check out, like I said, Jams and Cocktails, Jams and Coffee, uh, the Rum Posse there, the four of us, the four of five, I guess five of us, including me. Jams and Cocktails Wednesday nights over on YouTube. And so make sure you follow all of them. I think most of you already probably do follow all of us anyway. So I'm probably redoing whatever the word is over and over. So anyway, have a great weekend. TGIF. This is Friday Eve. Here's to our survivor in the fridge. Whenever your mom says don't play hide and go seek in the fridge, that's the one time it's okay, and use it as a life raft basically to survive a storm surge. Hope you all have a great night, and I'll talk to you all